My name's Michael O'Leary. I'm an occupational therapist by profession, but I have a very sort of narrow specialty, which is as an assistive technology consultant, which I've been doing for over 30 years now. This week, our webinar is on using the community and other ready-made resources. It takes quite a bit of time to create communication boards and activities within Boardmaker. So it's often, especially the interactive ones, which is what we'll be talking about in the next webinar, but it's much easier and more effective if we can use what other people have shared. And then I'm hoping that you guys will sort of, after this webinar, learn to share some of what you're doing with your colleagues and friends. So again, it just saves everybody a lot of time, which is ultimately best for our students. So we're the local account manager for Boardmaker in Australia. We have been since the very start when it was Mayor Johnson. You can go to our our homepage, spectronics.com.au, and if you click on Boardmaker support request, that's where you can place a request and email that to us. Is emailed to us and we will answer. If you're really in a hurry, you can telephone us on that number. So using ready-made activities, basically you can choose from over 160,000 shared resources, which will let you save time, be inspired by new ideas. You can collaborate with colleagues and you can edit to meet specific needs. And you can narrow your results. You can use filters to find the activities based on subject and category, grade level, year group, activity type, printed or interactive, the Boardmaker version that you want, the language, we'll see all this shortly, and resources shared by those within my organisation. That's for people who have a district account. You can share resources just within your organisation. So, and here's just a few groups you can join. You can join Boardmaker Australia, which I've created recently, and I'm frantically adding activities, and you're welcome to upload some activities yourself. They're based on, you know, something that's sort of typically Australian. We have Core First. If people are using Core First by Toby Dynavox, there's a special sort of set there. You can join that group. And also Symbols for All, which is the call centre in Scotland, which is a not-for-profit disability advisory organisation, and they do lots of very creative things. But as we'll see, there's many groups we can look at, and then just toward the end we'll look at premium activities. So Boardmaker have created activity packs which are professionally designed with instructional packages. They combine literacy instruction with common curricular topics. They're ready for immediate use, and it combines proven instructional techniques with complete accessibility. Accessibility is a big issue, so we have scanning, even eye gaze compatibility these days. Boardmaker Online sample activities, they're a collection of academically aligned sample activities to get you started, and a powerful starting point for creating your own library. Can be modified to meet your students' needs. Some of you will be aware that Boardmaker 7 will be launched probably in late October, and I'm currently working my way through Boardmaker activities to go and just making sure that they're appropriate for Australian. So, you know, I start with the English ones, but even with the UK English, there are times when some of what they say isn't appropriate in Australia. So for instance, they say lorry, we say truck, they say cooker, we say stove. So I go through changing all of those sorts of things. But again, these are all sorts of things that your students can be using, and you can be assigning to students. It's going to make your life so much easier. So there are the activity packs with beginning board games, early literacy series, match and memory series, quiz show series, virtual field trip series. So So let me show you. We're going to look at how we find an activity, joining and creating groups, working with friends, and premium activities. And if you wish, we can email you, or you can download it from our website when we've put it up there. There's a PDF handout, 5 steps for using the Boardmaker community. And that just gives you several links with little short videos that show you how to do this, just to back up what I'm showing you today. And I'd just like to give thanks to Tina Boise, who's the education manager for Boardmaker United Kingdom, who very kindly shared all of these, all of her Boardmaker Online webinars, which has made my life much easier. So with that, I shall go into Boardmaker Online. And what we have realized, as I realized last week, is that our internet speed, even though it's reasonably fast on Australian standards, it's much quicker in the UK and the US. So I apologize if the time goes a little bit slower. Tina keeps her webinars to within 30 minutes, but by the time we wait for some of the things to download and etc., it usually takes us over the half an hour. Okay, so here is our home page in Boardmaker. You can have a look here. This is, if you click on the down arrow from your name when you log in, there's my account, my messages, my settings, and you can log out from there. And then this is the home page details, which tells me the account ID, and it also gives me the activation code, product ID. If you want to download Boardmaker Studio, you can download that onto 2 machines, and you will need that code when you first open Boardmaker Studio that you've downloaded to activate the program. So, and then if we just look down here, we've got sort of little bits of things, new activities, your recent activities, recent group activity, etc. So, but what we're going to do is just click on Find Activities. So from the home page at the top here, when you first log in, there's a little bit of a blurb on Boardmaker 7 that's coming soon, but we're going to click on Find Activities. And that will take us to the Find Activities page. And what it tells us as soon as it's opened is that there are over 160,000 activities that are shared, which is really quite amazing. And so what we have here is a thumbnail down the side of the activity. We also have these little icons. So the one with a screen means it's an interactive activity that you can, teachers and therapists can display on an interactive whiteboard or a projector type thing. There's, if you've got a printer page, there are print activities that you can print off. There are also interactive ones, as I pointed out. There's also, if you have a P in it, which is this one, that means they're a performance activity, which is matched with certain sort of performance requirements. And when students interact with that, it feeds back so that teachers can see how the student has done. And then there is another one that isn't here, but sometimes you'll see an activity set, which is sort of shows you like a group of pages. I'll point that out if we come across one of those. So there's all our things. We can also narrow our search. What we also have is you have a hyperlink to the person that, to that activity, sorry. It also tells you who created it, when it was last updated, the date it was last updated, and how many people have viewed it, how many people have added, and how many people have downloaded it. And so it gives you a bit of an idea of how popular it is. So if we look at PEX symbols, this one has been viewed by over 2,000 people, but nobody's downloaded it. So obviously it's interesting to see. I guess people just look at it and it gives them some inspiration. So the other thing that we have is we can do a search, but on the left-hand side, we've got some search facilities. So you can search by type, whether it's a Boardmaker activity, a community sample, whether it has premium content, etc. You can look for common standards. We're not big on standards because we don't have anything aligned to our standards. You can have subject categories, language arts, maths, science, social studies. You can look at the categories. So you can have school curriculum, life skills, teacher tools, etc. You can have grade levels. I'm a bit wary of grade levels because in the disability field, it's not obvious, you know, what grade levels are appropriate for students in that grade. It's sort of a mixture of age and grade and academic ability. You can look at activity types, whether it's an activity set, look at interactive. You can look at just print resources. You can come down here, the activity version. So again, you can look at Boardmaker Online, Boardmaker Studio, Boardmaker version 6. Some of you will be familiar with that earlier version of Boardmaker. And then we've got the format, and we've got device only. And so this is for devices, so you can have activities that look at an Alpha Talker, etc. And then we've got language, so we could have a look here and scroll down and say, okay, we just want English Australia. And if we look at that, it'll load that, and it says there's 298, which is listed as having English language. Okay, you do need to realize that these activities are not quality assured. So we have no control as to how applicable they are and how appropriate they are. They're just what people have uploaded. And one of the big issues that comes with sharing activities, you do need to be aware of copyright laws. You can't just go and copy pictures and etc. from another person's website without risking breaching copyright. So you need to be a little bit careful that you're using your own materials. As a good example, I was trying to create an activity of Australian birds, and there are a couple of websites where people have recording sounds of birds' songs, but they're copyright. And obviously those people have spent many hours running around recording the songs of birds, so they're not happy for someone to copy them willy-nilly, so you need to be careful with that. If you want them, I guess what I can do is write to one of the creators of these websites and just say, would you mind if I used, you know, a small version of your songs? So let's just go back to this finding activities. And if we go to enter into the search, we'll just type in the word Australia. And we find that there are 52 activities for Australia. And what we can do is, if we scroll down, we can look at a nice one here, matching features of Australia. So we can look at that. It's created by Juanita Pritchard, and it's had 70 downloads, 1 ad, and 1,680 views. So, and we've got the little thing. If I click on the link, we get a bigger icon, and we see a picture of Juanita Pritchard, and we can have a look at this. So, and then across the top here, we've got our little toolbar. We can print this activity, we can play it. We can, if I have a look at this, we can assign it to students. We can add it to our playlist. We can send it to friends. We can email it to people. We can edit the activity. We can download the activity and then open it in Boardmaker Studio if we wish. So we'll have a look at this, and what we can do is say, okay, let's play this activity and see what happens. Okay, so here's the activity. I can expand it so it fills the screen, and basically it says place each item at the bottom with the item above that goes with it. So we've got here Ayers Rock.
That's right. Ayers Rock goes with Ayers Rock. That's right. Australia goes with Australia.
And if we get one wrong, if I put this here.
No, those two don't go together.
And we can say, okay, let's try Great Barrier Reef. Oh, actually, we'll put this one in here.
No, those two don't go together.
And if we put it another time,
no,
it will automatically put it. So if you get it wrong twice.
Great Victoria Desert goes with Great Victoria Desert.
This is made with a template which has that feature built in. So then we've got Coral Sea and Great Barrier Reef. So we can check this.
No.
Still not right, and it's put it in the right place. And we can put
That's
this
right.
one.
Coral Sea goes with Coral Sea. That's all.
And so now we can say stop. Are you sure you want to leave the activity? Yes. Okay, and then what we can do, we can edit this activity, because if we look at it, we can open it up. And when we change the activity, we can edit it ourselves. We put that into Board. We can make some changes. It won't change the activity that Juanita has posted into Boardmaker Online as a shared activity. It's only shared by us, but we can come up to here and we can click on Ayers Rock and say, okay, we can go over to our right hand side, take that off and type in Uluru and say that's more appropriate now. And that should update it to Uluru, I hope. Maybe I have to change it on here. So, and I don't need to click, because if I hit return, it will go searching for Uluru. So if we just sort of click off that, that will have made that change, and I can come up to here and say file, or I can just click on save and save that. And save it as, we can call that. Actually, I'm going to cancel that because she's put a title up there, get-togethers. We can call this matching natural wonders. And we can save that now. And we can call it that. Oops. Let's say save. As I say, that hasn't changed her activity, it's just changed it for us. When we look at that too, we could add another icon there, which I have done. I think I actually took Australia out and I added a couple of other different icons. I think it might have been Wineglass Bay and Shark Bay. Okay, so now the activity has been added to my Boardmaker. So if we leave out of here now, what we can do first though is let's check out, she's put a description here, students drag items to their corresponding pair, so got a good description, but let's see what else, see if we can sort of find out what Juanita Pritchard does. So here she is here. She's located in GA, United States. She has 66 friends. She's a member of 6 groups, and she has a total of 18 activities. She's got quite a few Australian activities, so she's obviously been just had some sort of lessons on Australia, which is quite interesting. Sorting and counting animals of Australia, labelling. And what we could do is click on here, which would add her as a friend. And if we add her as a friend, it then sends an email to her and says, you know, we'd like to add you to a friend, and she can accept the invitation, and I'll get an email back saying you've been added. And I'll show you a copy of those emails when we come back. Now, that's a bit of a long shot. You know, I won't add her as a friend for someone in the USA necessarily, not that it matters particularly. She can always decline the request. But certainly for people with a district account, it would be great for you guys in the account to sort of all become friends, so that you're sharing activities, you're members of the same groups. You can sort of use Boardmaker Online to communicate with each other and share activities. So let me just go back again now. And what do we do next? So yeah, the activity's been added to my Boardmaker. So if I go to my Boardmaker and have a look at my activities, matching Australian natural wonders, there it is. And again, we've got our toolbar here, which can be printed, we can play it, we can edit it, we can assign it to students, we can add it to our playlist, and we can move the activity into a folder if we wish, or we can delete it if needs be. So that's all that we can do. Now what I'd like to do is look at joining groups. So we've looked at basically looking at community activities. Let's look at joining a group. So we can look at browse groups. So this is the community tab. We go down to browse groups. And you'll see here that these are all the groups that we can sort of browse. No, there we go. That's what I wanted, a new screen. So this is our browse groups, which allow you to create and participate in mini communities within Boardmaker Online. You can create a new group and invite your peers, or join an existing group that's focused on a topic that matters to you. Share and discuss activities, curriculum, events, and other relevant topics with community members who share your interests. And this can be particularly important, as I've said, for people within a school or therapists within a therapy centre to share those activities. It's also a good example, which we'll look at later, is if you have a teacher that is moving on or taking maternity leave or taking long service leave, they can share the activities that they've created for specific students and share those privately with the new relief teacher or relief therapist. So that's all very important. If we have a look here, if you are a member of a district account, you can click on My Organisation Only, and hopefully that will happen in a minute, and you'll see that then I've limited the groups that are only within my organisation, which has Spectronics Interactive. So I'm in the Spectronics account. And so if I take that off, I'm back to where I was. And on the left-hand side here, we have a little search filter, so we can look at the newest people, we can look at most members, we can look at the oldest of activities that are being shared, we can look at the most people who have the most groups that have the most activities, we have the most recently updated, or we can put it into alphabetical. So if we click on most recently updated, we can have a look there, and you can see what has been updated just recently. Boardmaker is a thing. You'll see that they've got 560 members and 11 activities. You'll see Boardmaker Australia there. I've so far added 6 activities. In fact, we can click on this and have a look. You're very welcome to join this if you wish. And if we just have a quick squiz down, we can look at this, and we've got Australian states and territories. We've got states and territories abbreviations, Australian capital cities, match Australian natural wonders. That was adapted from that Juanita Pritchard's one. We've got Australian national anthem, and we've got a symbol there that I created for seasons, which I mentioned last time, because very few of us will have witnessed snow. So now if I go back, for instance, now, so we've got that sort of search thing, most recent, etc. But we can also look at the right-hand side. We can search groups. So we could type in the word autism and see what activities are specifically aligned with autism. So, and now we find all the groups that are creating activities in an autistic, for autistic children. We could also type in communication. So we can say, okay, we really want to focus on groups that work with communication. And sorry, I've hit my key, so we can search that. And this would be great because you'll see quite a number of people in this communication thing that are sharing activities which is probably specifically communication boards. So that might be helpful to narrow down what you're looking for. Another thing we could search on is PODD. Some of you will have heard of that, created by Gail Porter. Stands for Pragmatic Organisation of Dynamic Displays, which is a whole system, and I'm pleased to say that POD will be available as an add-on for Boardmaker Online in coming months. But here we can see POD and Aldo, so we could look on there. There's 33 members and 16 activities. There's POD UK. So again, we can sort of look at this group, open it up and see what it's about. It was created in 2013, so they've been there a while. Aided language displays. That could be quite handy, and they've recently created one for coronavirus. But these look like they're not an English speaking group, but it's all right. Let's go back. So they're the sorts of groups that you can sort of have a look at and request to join. So now we're going to look at how we can create a group, because this is what I'd like you guys to do, is to create a group and share activities within your group, which is going to save you a lot of time. So let's look at creating a group. And when we say create group, I'm going to give you an example where I'm going to share the activities that I have for one of my students privately with another teacher. So we give the group a name. I'm going to call it Jasmine. Whoops. Jasmine's grade 5. Whoops, I keep hitting my caps lock key. Grade 5 stuff. And description, you can put in a description there saying there we go. I can add a group photo. So if we look at this, just to make it easier to do this, I can go to browse. I can look at my pictures. I can look at my children's photos, There's a picture of Jasmine there in year 2020, so I can open that and that will download the picture into her group. So we've got a nice picture for the group. Now, this is important, privacy. I'm going to open this so that we can read this. This is very important. Private groups have an additional level of security. Only people who you invite can join the private group. So where it's a sensitive information like students that might have personal information, family names, etc., that teachers and therapists really shouldn't be sharing with people, it's important that we then say, keep the group private. And then we can also come down to permissions. Only the owner moderator of the group can invite friends, and only allow the owner moderator of the group to share activities with the group. So that just keeps it nice and steady. So then we say create group, and it's nice and secure. And so now we've got Jasmine's grade stuff, 5 stuff, etc. And if we go to my groups, you can have a look that she's been added to my groups. And 12 seconds ago, here's some of my other groups, Boardmaker Australia and Spectronics Interactive, either of which you're welcome to join, but you won't be able to join Jasmine's grade 5 stuff unless I invite you. So it's a group that's specifically created so that I can invite another teacher or another one of her teachers to share her activities. And of course, within that, I can assign things to her. And so I can then, if I open this, I can share Jasmine's activities to that group. Come down here. So this is where I can invite a member. I could start a discussion. I can add an activity. So if I click to add an activity, it will come up with the activities that I want to assign her. Okay, and then now we're going on to working with friends. So if again we click on the community tab and we see, wait a minute, my friends, my groups, browse members. So if we click on browse members, it's slow because there's a lot of members to look. So again, we have that same thing where we can say, okay, my organisation only, so I can click on that and there will be members of my district account, which is, as you can see there, Nikki, Jessica, George, etc. Or we can turn that off and we can look at all the members that are members of Boardmaker Online. And then we have on this left thing, the most recent activity. We can search by name, which would be in alphabetical order, or we can search by activities. If we look at most recently active, that might help us search. And so these are the people that have recently posted something, see, 36 seconds ago. So it's quite amazing to look at this and see, you know, what people, you know, how many people are just adding activities to things. So that's their recent activity. We can also do a search on members. So I can do a search on here and I can do a search on org, search on that. And there we go, we've got that. I can open that up. And here you can click on and say add as a friend. You can click on this to send an email, etc. So again, it's very good if you want to invite friends. You can look up people that you know that are members of your district account, no matter how large it is. And so, for instance, in Victoria, they have over 900 members to their district account across all the special schools in Victoria. But again, it's a good opportunity. You might have a friend that you know that's doing things that you want, so you can add them as a friend. And if you click add as a friend, as I said, that will send an email to that person saying you've been requested to be added as a friend. So now I just want to quickly look at the activities and premium activities. So if we look at these, which again will save you time, Boardmaker Online has a whole heap of sample activities that you could use or you might need to adapt them for your purposes. So again, it's going to save you heaps of time and give you lots of stuff for your students. And so there's also Boardmaker activity packs that a lot of it's all been done and all the graphics have been done and they're professionally designed. So they're probably a little bit better than certainly even me in creating, some fairly clever activities. I'm currently, as I've mentioned, working on a whole group of activities to go that have been sent to me to check and to comment on and have them adapted for the Australian Boardmaker users. So here's the friend request. So this is an email that says you have a friend request, Michael O'Leary. You have a new friend request. Would you like to be your friend? And you can click here to accept the request. And then the other one is your friend request has been accepted. Michael O'Leary, your friend request has been accepted on and Nikki Bork accepted me as a friend. Thank you for your attention today, and I hope you're finding this helpful, and I do look forward to speaking to you again in a fortnight's time.